Right, then, well, let's talk markets before we wrap up the show today. And that's also another interesting conversation. And Mukhtar Mohammed is my guest to continue this conversation. A kind of interesting conversation today, I must say, all across the board. Mr. Mohammed, let's see what the market is trading like. Bouncing back, well, a bit marginally back into green. Can you take us through what you think of the market performance in 2026? As we started, what do you make of it? There's been this flip-flop again. You know, I like to use that word because that's what we mostly see in the market.
Good afternoon, Cholo.
Thank you.
The market, you know, I keep telling you then, and I will say it again, is the market as it is. In December, you always see those things happen to the market. I mean, sometime in December, I talked about the market situation in December, where you had that in November. Then again, we got to December. I told you that the market will definitely recover. So what we see now is not new in the market. What we are experiencing now is not new in the market because again, this is the season. Remember, Tolu, don't forget this is the earning season. And so a lot of investors are queuing into the market, most for dividend payment, especially for dividend payment and also for capital appreciation. Especially investors will look at the third quarter result of those companies and see how far those companies have done. So definitely what you are going to see is those flip, like you said, you keep saying it, those results start coming. But again, when you look at 2026, my expectation of the market is that the market will definitely be very bullish. I'm so confident about that. What we've seen the year start, we're definitely going to see the year end where the reforms will begin to have human face. The reforms will begin to see the reforms in the life of Nigerians. We have seen the reforms in the life of the companies. We have seen the reforms in the life of our currency. We've seen the reforms in the life of productivity of Nigeria. So we will now begin to see the reform in the life of a lot of Nigerians. And when that happens, and the consumer goods sector, when Nigeria know we're a consumer-driven economy, we begin to consume. Then the telecom sector also will have recovered and we'll begin to see the impact of those recovery in their results that we're expecting very soon. The banking sector, after the recapitalization, like it has always been, you begin to see those competition. But don't forget that most of the recapitalization are largely driven by funds that the banks are thinking to expand into international shore. So it will not be funds that will be kept here in Nigeria. It will be funds that will be exported out to bring in more funds for the shareholders. So you are going to see the banks also perform very, very well this year. So definitely, this is the year that a lot of things will happen. Don't forget again, people are asking, will the market go above the 100 trillion? I said I wish it could go above the 100 trillion without the listing of Dangote. But unfortunately, I think if Dangote refinery comes in, we might see those capital, we might just see the market move above the 100 trillion mark that it is now. But again, I will be more excited if before Dangote refinery is listed, we've seen the market go above the 100 trillion naira mark. And if that happens, then we might be seeing a market that will end the year almost in 200 trillion.
That is a big one. And also considering the fact that we are seeing something sort of like a recapitalization exercise to be instituted for operators in the market. We discussed that yesterday largely, and I think I would definitely want to get your views in regards to that. Does that build more confidence in our market? Does that help us to get more? We have local participation doing pretty well in our markets. So what do you make of this? What do you think will be the effect of this?
So you know the exciting thing about that reform that I like about what we are going to experience with the recapitalization of the stockbroking firm. Don't forget that the last recapitalization we had was sometime in 2014. So definitely it's overdue. What was the exchange rate at that time? The good news is that most of the stockbroking firms that are very active are few. If you look at the number of transactions, very few stockbroking firms, maybe 5 to 10 stockbroking firms are largely responsible for over 80% of the transaction we're having in the market. So what I think the Security and Exchange Commission is to have big time players, then you have a large amount of players. and that will deepen liquidity in the market. So whereby the stockbroking firm can also begin to mop up stocks and also begin to play the market with the kind of liquidity they have, then Nigerian market will not largely be driven by retail investors alone. We'll now have the retail investors and the stockbroking firm. So institutional investors will come in, and that will help bullish the market, but will not be largely depending on foreign investors. That is one. So for me, I think the recapitalization is due. Even if people will say that you don't need 100 million to become a stockbroking firm, which I agree definitely. But again, if you want to deepen the market and you want to play in a $1 trillion dollar economy, then your stockbroking firm will also have to recapitalize. Then if you look at what I like about it is, if you look at this, whether you call them Gen Z, Gen Alpha, Gen Millennial, whatever you call them, you realize that already they've not been participating so much in the Nigerian market. They like dealing in the foreign market. And why is it that? Because of the easy accessibility, the apps, the digital platform that they use. So now what the Securities and Exchange Commission is saying that most of this brokerage firm in Nigeria, most of the digital platform in Nigeria, they are more interested in trading foreign stocks because of the precarity of getting license. And when they begin to trade the local stock, what you see about them is that they go through a stockbroking firm. And so what happened then? When they do that now, you now realize that the cost of trading, because now they are now like a party. So the cost in your transaction is high. Now SEC is giving them that opportunity also to have their own license once they pay 2 billion. That will bring down the cost in terms of transactional costs if you are using the app. And that will in turn help a lot of younger Nigerians to begin to participate in the market. So how will it help Nigeria? We'll begin to have the age bracket in the market now. We'll begin to see the 20s, the 30s, the 35, and coming to the market. That will boost the retail space of the market. And then, if you look at the stockbroking firms that are doing very well in the market, most of them concentrate more on high net investors, institutional investors, leaving out the retail investors. But when they see the population of the retail investor, they will be forced to have product for the retail investor. That will also deepen the market. So for me, it's a win-win thing. The recapitalization is overdue. And can say it confident for investors. They are afraid, oh, if they did recapitalization and my stockbroking firm does not make recapitalization, does that mean that what happened in the bank where they will lose their money, does that mean I will lose my money? No, you will not lose your money. What we mean is that the Securities and Exchange Commission is a custodian. So what will happen is that they will help you move it to the recapitalized stockbroking firm without you losing your money. So for me, it's a fantastic decision by the Securities and Exchange Commission. Let's see how that works. We will have stockbroking firm. If you have 600, if you have about you need about 600 million, and before now you have that, you will have 3, 4, 5, 6 stockbroking firms coming together, becoming large player. Tolu, the other good thing is that we will now have stockbroking firm expanding to other states in Nigeria rather than just living here in Lagos, and that will bring in more retail investors. That will get more Nigerians to participate in the market. A lot of Nigerians are not feeling the impact of the Tinubu economic policy because most of the sector that the policy of Tinubu hits immediately implementation is the stock market.
All right, then.
Because a lot of Nigerians are not playing that market because they are not aware. You see them complaining.
I think we'll have another conversation clearly focused on
fear.